Milestones of the Century. At the victorious end of World War I, American servicemen returned to a land of boom and plenty. Unhappily, it turned out to be a war boom and paper plenty. By 1932, veterans were donning their khakis again, fighting a new war, the war against the Great Depression. From these jobless men came a grave rumbling that carried to the nation's capital as thousands of ex-servicemen converged on the White House itself. Their cry was, "Give us our war bonus now." Veterans sat on the Capitol lawn, waiting for the government's answer, as others from all over the nation rushed to Washington to join them. Women, decked out as Liberty Girls, cheered the men on in the strangest payday pilgrimage in history. Everywhere in the land, demonstrations broke out as the great bonus army swelled its ranks and marched on Washington. On they came, ever growing in number, their cry ever rising, "Give us our bonus." The Veterans Bonus Bill had already been passed by the lawmakers, but had not yet fallen due. These men, frustrated, idle, and desperately in need of money, wanted their bonus now. By July, an estimated 10,000 men had assembled in the shadow of the great Capitol Dome. As their ranks swelled to 17,000, they overpoured the Capitol steps. They waited anxiously for the result of the Senate meeting, then in session, which was to determine whether vets would be paid immediately or whether their desperate march had failed. The answer came from a government grown increasingly wary of what was termed mob rule. That answer, tempered by a dwindling treasury, was a blunt no. Most veterans left Washington in defeat, but others stayed on. They built a city of tar paper shanties on Anacostia Flats near the Capitol and refused to move. Here on this broad sweep of Washington real estate had risen a community of malcontent which housed over 2,000 veterans and their families. By some opponents, it was likened to a weed in the front lawn of democracy. On July 28th, President Hoover ordered government troops to pluck it out. The destruction of Anacostia Flats, raising a wave of bitter controversy, marked the end of the Veterans Bonus Army. But it had etched its name in flames among the milestones of the century.